Well, well, well. Look who it is. This old baldy. What's up, guys and girls? Been a while. Just like Aaron Lewis of Stain said. It's been a while. Snow's, thanks to the rain, snow's melting. It's been kind of pleasant weather the last few days. But when we all had that snow hit a couple weeks ago, it hit hard. I mean, it wasn't, we got between 6 to 12 inches, depending on the area you were at. Around here in Martinsburg, Hedgesville, Inwood, all this West by God, Virginia area, God's country. At my place, we got probably 6 to 7, maybe 8 inches. The driveway parking lot was more, of course, with the drifts and with the plowing. So a lot of places, a lot of people, there's some cars that hadn't even been shoveled out yet. I didn't shovel out for a couple days, but then I never did shovel. I cleaned the car off and then I just drove over it. If I got four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, I ain't shoveling. I'm driving out, and when I come back, I'm gonna park in the 2 ruts that I left when I pulled out. And if I come back and somebody's in my parking spot and there's one open, I'm parking there. I didn't have no trouble finding a parking spot because, I mean, first couple of days we didn't go nowhere. We were already stocked up, which we got a freezer full of food. I bagged some ice. We got an ice maker. I bagged some ice, put it out on the deck, on the patio. I told the wife, I said, if we lose power, there's nothing to worry about as far as the food and stuff. We take it out of the freezer and just set it outside. It ain't gonna go bad. If we leave it in the freezer, it's gonna rot, depending on how long you're without power. But if you lose power, put your stuff outside. The worst that'll happen is your eggs will freeze. Your milk will freeze. At least it ain't gone bad, stinking up in the fridge. I bought a burner. You can call it a portable stove, but it's a portable burner, and it runs off of propane. I think it's propane. It comes in the little cans. Maybe it's butane. I don't know. But I bought 4 cans for $11. Each can says that it will last 2 to 6 hours, depending on how you use it. And it's got one burner, the little portable burner. You see people doing them cooking shows where they'll cook up something over on the counter, you see the stove behind them. That's what I got, one of those. It was $20. I haven't used it yet, but I'm faithful that it'll work, and we can do one-pot meals. We just have to eat meat and nothing else, or either something out of if it gets down to it. I mean, you can live off of protein, and we got freezer full of protein. So anyway, I just wanted to check in and say hi. I probably lost a lot of viewers by not doing videos regularly. And then people, you don't realize Now this is my phone. I'm on my iPad because my Facebook, I can't pull up this account on my phone. Gone over that a couple times. But once I do this video and post it, I don't check back on and look at the comments. I will for the first couple days. But then after that, I'm bad. I just don't do it. So y'all make comments and I don't answer them. Where y'all are like, man, that guy used to answer all the comments. And I did. I try to. But if it's more than 1 or 2 days out, I put this thing over on the table. Then I play games and Facebook and whatever. With this one, I lose touch. Sorry, guys, and I deserve not to have the views or the viewers that I used to. Y'all, I mean, it's the way it is. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I still believe in freedom. Still believe in Freedom Friday. I still believe in YTPC, Team Freedom. I don't know where that is nowadays. This soda has been in the car, been in the truck since Saturday. I brought one with me. It was a half of one. I was like, well, damn, it's been out here. It's been refrigerated. And zero sugar sodas, they taste flat anyway. So even if it don't have no fizz, it still is root beer. So a couple weeks ago, I come up here I'm at the creek. Y'all probably know that. I don't think I've seen y'all since I saw that boy named Eddie. That old boy named Eddie. I pulled in, and as y'all know, if you go down to the bottom, you got the creek, turn around, come back, and I park up here on the top. Well, I pulled in last week, a couple weeks ago, because it was pre-snow. There was a car down where I couldn't get all the way down into the bottom to turn around. So I just turned around right here where I'm at. Well, can't be too flat. It's still got the gas with it. So I turn around right here. And it's not big enough for me to do just a one circle U-turn. So I got to do like a 2-point turn to, pull up, back up, like that. So what I do is when I turn around here, I come around, I pull up here like this. Now back up, I pull up, and I'm not where I want to be. So I go back up and I get into this spot right here. Because I always sit beside that trash pile so that way I can fume over the freaking people that threw their shit down there. But as I was backing up to get in position here, I rarely look at this camera. Even in my Jeep or this, I use my mirrors. I don't use the backup camera very rarely. I mean, I look in it as I'm looking for my mirrors or whatever. Because when you're backing into a parking spot, you can't tell how close you are to that car unless you look in the mirror. But anyway, as I was backing up and almost right where I wanted to be, I looked. The guy that was down in the bottom had pulled up here and pulled in behind me And I hit the brakes because I saw him in the mirror at the last second. I was like that far from running into him, backing into him. And I was like, what the fuck is his problem? So I sat here and I could see him in the mirror, but I could see a silhouette of a person. A silhouette of a man, got a moose. But I could see him in my rearview mirror. So I pulled up a little bit, killed the engine, and I was sitting here. I lit up my cigar. Took my old trusty off my side and set it down on the, because I was like, I don't know what this guy's up to. So I had the old peacemaker in between the seats here, where I could grab it, he couldn't see it. After about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, he got out of his car and he walks up here. So I look at him and he's like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, all right. He said, I hate to bother you and hate to ask this. He said, my name's Eddie. So I was like, hey Eddie, I'm Willie. I put my hand back down between the seats, Gotta be at the ready, because I don't know Eddie. So he's like, look man, I'm out of gas. I'm homeless. I was like, here we go. He said, I'm homeless. Gave me the spiel. He's trying to get a couple dollars so he can get home. He lives on the other side of town. First thought, red flag pops up. First thought, why are you down here in the creek if you run out of gas? Why didn't you drive your car as far as it'll go, but you started it down there and pulled in behind me? So he's like, I'm on disability, and I said, I am too, brother. I said, I'm on disability. I said, I don't have no cash on me whatsoever. I said, and at that point, it was like a week before my payday. I get paid once a month, Yahoo. And it's at the end of the month. And when I get paid at the end of September, it's for September. I don't get paid, and then, anyway, thanks government. But I was like, man, I had no cash on me. I said, I brought the cigar from home. I got a soda here. I said, I always come up here about once a week or so, sit here where it's nice and tranquil and nobody bothers me, have a cigar. I said, you smoke cigarettes? He said, no, I quit 10 years ago. I said, yeah, me too. I said, I quit 13 years ago. I quit in 2013. I said, I saw a guy at the store a couple weeks ago picking cigarette butts off the ground. I went inside and I got a drink and I bought a pack to give him those so he wouldn't pull them off the ground. When I come out, he was gone. I said, so I've had a pack. Yes. So I've had a pack of cigarettes in my car here, in my truck here for 2 weeks. And I don't smoke them. I said, I don't know what I paid for them, $6, $7. I ain't gonna throw them away. He goes, no, I don't smoke. He said, but I used to pick them up off the ground. I said, I never got like that. I said, if I didn't have money, I didn't smoke. Or either I bought generic. I said, I never picked cigarettes up off the ground. But he didn't want them. So he went and sat back down in his car. And he turned his music on, and he was an old black guy. Not that that matters. I mean, he was just an old dude. But this is the funny part. He turned his music up where I could hear it clear. And he was playing Keith Whitley, Don't Close Your Eyes. Because that's one of my favorite all-time songs. So I turned my music down and was sitting here listening to it, and I'm singing along with it. You know, tonight, let it be me. You know, so I'm sitting here singing along, listening to old Eddie's music. He listened to that song, turned the radio down, CD, whatever it was, turned his music down. About a minute later, he cranks up his car, backed up because he was right up on my butt there. He had to back up, pulled off, and he went up here and turned and come back, and he come back around and went across the bridge. And as he come driving back up the road here, I just threw my hand up at him. He waved back and he's gone. So I was like, I wonder who I'm gonna see down at the creek today. But ain't nobody down here today. There's still some snow. It didn't clear the road, the path off, but it's very easily drivable. So that's why I'm here. I'm having me a Drew Estate Undercrown. And this is the Maduro. This was the first Undercrown, the original. It had a footband on it that says Maduro. And look at the wrapper. It's got some brown to it from where it's been sauteing in my humidor. I bought them a couple years before I moved. So they're probably from 22, maybe 23. And I still got another box of 10 that hadn't even been opened yet. When these first came out, I think it was like 2014, 13 or 14, because a few years back, they had the 10th anniversary. It might even have been 20. Might have been 2010, 2011. I don't remember. But they had the 10th anniversary come out with these. They were called All Decked Out. They're good too. They tweaked the blend just a little bit. But this used to be my favorite cigar. Well, one of them, the A.J. Fernandez New World. That has been my favorite cigar ever since I smoked one. But I wouldn't get mad if this was all I had or the New World. One or the other, either or, it don't matter. If I only had these two cigars the rest of my life, I wouldn't be mad. Especially if I had both of them and that's all I had. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Oh, Ram. Not a bad looking truck. But yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I'm just sitting here chilling, having me a cigar. I didn't know if I'd see Eddie or not, so I got the old Peacemaker still on my side. I've been carrying cross draw. I know I showed y'all that holster a while back when I got it. Man, I love that holster. It's for my Kimber. And it slides on my belt real easy. I can slide it around to the front and let it bump that first belt loop on my front where you would be at like the belt loop that's at 11 o'clock. Bring it around and bump that. T-shirt, pull it down, you can't tell that it's there. If I pull it around to 9 o'clock, you can see the bulk when I'm wearing a T-shirt. Flannel, you can't tell that it's there. So what I like about it is, like when you're driving, you can slide it around to 9 o'clock and it's not hitting in your old spare tire You know, the old belly you wrap around. So when you stand up to get out of the vehicle, you just nonchalantly slide it around, back around to the belt loop that's in front. And it's perfect, man. It's comfortable, it's perfect. And with the Kimber, that's my favorite carry gun because it's so light. And I mean, you got a handful of pistol when you grab it, but it's just so light, small, ergonomical, and easy to conceal. It's just a great little piece to have. Expensive? Depends on what you call expensive. $600, $700, $800 for it. It's a lot of money. If you ever have to use it, it's worth twice its weight in gold. So you got to look at it, outweigh what your ways and means are. I guess that's what I meant to say. Anyway, I'm gonna jump. I'm at 21 minutes. I'm just sitting here enjoying my cigar. Just wanted to enjoy your company for a little bit. If you don't partake with me in my company, that's fine. I understand. But all of y'all that keep coming back and watching, I appreciate you. I really do. I'd like to get more videos in. Maybe I will when the weather breaks more. Like I said, I'm gonna end up getting a new channel with my phone so that way I can go back and forth with it. And I do like that phone because I can pause the video. I can turn the camera around and back around while I'm doing a video. It's just so much better. So maybe I'll look into that. Couple weeks we'll be into March. Maybe the weather will start, breaking for us, and this white stuff will get out of here completely. Some places it's gone. We had rain the last couple of days, and that helped a lot. But anyway, guys, I love you. I do. Remember, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So with that being said, until next time, you know what to do. Stuff 'em and puff 'em. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.